I'm not muting myself. All right, let me just start sharing it and we'll take it from there. And it should be resume recording. Let me go back over here. It should be on YouTube. Okay, yeah, there it is.
So we just share the YouTube channel and it'll kick in like that or what?
Yeah, it'll kick in like that. It'll just, you can share YouTube to Facebook and it'll kick it in.
Okay. We'll give it a try. We'll see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
All righty. Let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and start off. Am I muted? No. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Amber, can you hear me? All right, let me go ahead and start off. We're back at you and gloves off, and today we have a great debate between candidates for Laredo City Council District 8. We have attorney and city council running for re-election, Robert Bali. How are we doing today, Robert?
You're doing great.
Doing great. And we also have a candidate, Ms. Amber Hinojosa. How are we doing, Amber?
Doing great over here.
Good, good. We had a couple of others that some failed to call back, and we have one that was under the weather. So let's just proceed with this. We're going to go ahead and have an opening for 2 minutes, a closing for 2 minutes, and an answer for one of the each of the questions, which are 6 questions, and each one's going to be a minute long. So I'll go ahead and start, and you'll be the first one. They'll answer the opening. So let's start off with that, Ms. Amber.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you, Mr. Bali, for agreeing to debate today. I think that the future of District 8 has never been brighter than it is now, but it needs a leader with vision and ambition to get the job done. As the only female and most qualified candidate, I plan to bring action and accountability and transparency back to City Hall. I'm Amber Hinojosa, and you may think that I'm new to the area, but my roots in District 8 are deep and go back to the 1950s when my great-grandmother and her children moved to the Guadalupe colonias. It's by chance that years later, I would be a homeowner, a small business owner with passion and heart to serve my community right here in District 8. As a tax and financial professional, I understand the struggles that families face to balance daily life, to put food on the table, pay bills, and pay taxes. And they should be able to trust our local government. The people of District 8 just want the same fair chance that people on the north side have. Opportunity to make a decent living, buy a home, start a business, have clean water, clean streets, and safe neighborhoods. I want to invest in our people, in our district, and be the leader that District 8 can count on.
Counselor?
Hello to everybody. Thank you, Mr. Buitrón. Thank you, Ms. Avis, for being the only one who would debate today along with me. I'm the council member for District 8. I'm Roberto Bali. I'm a husband. I'm a parent of 3 kids, including a baby. I've been in District 8 for a long time. I attended District 8 schools. I went to Kristen. I went to Martin. So did my siblings. I'm the most educated of the candidates that are running. I've got a bachelor's degree in business, a master's degree in business, doctorate of law. I am a business owner. My wife and I practice law in District 8 and live in District 8. I've worked in government as well as been in private practice. I have more public service work than my opponents. In public service, I've been on the boards of many local organizations that deal with homelessness, education, children's welfare, and providing free legal services to those who need it. As a council member, I've had the opportunity to complete work on very important projects for District 8. For example, for the opening of the outlet mall, building a road from La Azteca neighborhood into downtown to provide people access across without having to cross the freeway. As I've been on council, we've added over 20 new housing units to District 8, as well as renovated some buildings that were in disrepair. In addition, we're adding a new police substation, which is set to open pretty soon, and it's in downtown Laredo, and it'll allow police to actually arrest people and hold them in custody in downtown without having to take them up to the north side, which will allow law enforcement time to do other things. We've also doubled the lighting along San Bernardo and Santa Maria Avenues, and we've added lighting along the Zacate Creek trails for people. And we're currently working on the restoration of the Plaza Theater and the Downtown Children's Library. So I'm here to tell you that I'm the best person for the job, and I'm asking for your vote.
Thank you, Councilor. I want to talk a little bit about the questions. The questions were asked to the public. We ended up with several dozen. We placed them all together. We cut some, and I had several professionals look at them from different professions. And these are the questions that came out because of the concerns of the community in general. We didn't place them as districts. We placed them as a whole of Laredo. Because once you all know that if you all get elected, you not only represent a district, you represent the city of Laredo. And that is something that everybody needs to understand. So the first question, and this first question is going to be for Councilor Bali, then you have a minute for it. It starts like this. The city of Laredo has a habit of entering into projects and lawsuits that lead the city into financial difficulties. In the past several years, Laredo leaders have been led astray by political groups, activists, and have been manipulated into lawsuits and losing those lawsuits, such as that they have lost the faith of the citizens of Laredo. So the question, how do you feel about bringing forth projects that might lead our city into further debt just to satisfy certain groups or individuals? Councilor?
Well, I will say that this year, the city of Laredo took on no additional debt as part of our budget. We just finished our budget process and approved our budget. In fact, we're in the final reading of our budget this Monday. And so we did take on no debt. The projects that I have brought to the city, for example, the road in La Azteca, we were able to complete that without taking on any debt. Getting the outlet mall open, we were able to do that through financial incentives. We didn't take on any new debt. Right now, some of the big projects that we have, the Plaza Theater is renovation, is going to be renovated into a multi-purpose performing arts theater. It's fully funded, no new debt. The Downtown Children's Library, funded, and we're getting some grants as well, no new debt. And then we have a project to improve the 4 blocks in front of the bridge, and that also will have no new debt. It'll be private industry that'll develop that.
Yes. Thank you, Councilor. Ms. Hinojosa.
I don't agree that we should be funding any specific projects or groups that place the city in debt. And I'm happy that Mr. Bali is saying that none of the projects have accumulated any debt. But as a councilman, I also plan to demonstrate financial responsibility, use my fiduciary duty to always act in the best interest of taxpayers and rebuild trust in our local government. And I'm happy to hear that he said that they didn't take on debt, and I'm going to hold him to that until I get to research it myself. But I also want to note that Laredoans are tired of the same old politics. They think that a lot of contracts go to friends of friends. It's who you know. And it's time that we share the wealth and build our community up and share those contracts.
Thank you, Ms. Hinojosa. Now for the next question, and you'll be the first one that will answer. Local city governments have not been abandoned by the federal government. Congress has earmarked and sent over millions of dollars of COVID-19 relief money for local governments such as Laredo. Do you agree that the city government has been silent or opaque or not transparent with the citizens as how and where the money is being spent? If so, how would you spend the money differently?
I think that our federal government has really failed the people, and it's been up to the local government to step up, right? And especially in these times of COVID, we've seen how not up to par our healthcare system is. And so with this money that we're receiving from federal funds, we should be using that money to build our workforce and also provide transparency of all of our numbers across the board, and recruit better medical services, increase the budget for our city health department, and provide COVID testing throughout the city, not just James Arena, where you have to have a car to get a test, because the people in my district, a lot of them don't have cars and they rely on the bus. But I would like to see our city really invest that money to improve the healthcare system here.
Thank you, Ms. Hinojosa. Counselor, how would you answer that question?
Well, I want to address the COVID testing. We've done it at other parts of the community, including in District 8. We had two very big testing in District 8 at Veterans Field. And so maybe not everybody found out about it, but we have offered it throughout the city. We continue to offer at the health department. I would say that our community, our city government, I have done everything I can to make sure that our city government is transparent. We've pushed for that. As a matter of fact, since I've been in office, some of the changes have been now all of the financials and budget are online. The city minutes are online. The check registry is online. Internal audits online. Policies online. Even our debts are online. And so the city, because of what we have done over the past couple of years, we've received awards for budget excellence, financial excellence, audit excellence. And if you look at our financial ratings, we're consistently AA and AAA in Moody's, meaning that the city is financially responsible with its money. So I think we've been very transparent. Sometimes it doesn't seem that way to members of the public. They may think that something got by them, that they didn't hear about it. But these things they're not necessarily all in the newspaper, but they're all online for those who do want to look and who want to find out about these issues.
Thank you, Counselor. The next question, and this next question will be, you'll be starting, Counselor. We understand that citizens are free to choose what they want to do. This includes financial capacity to afford their choices, and thus closely feel that we are not in a secured environment to protect those investments, meaning that we lack the security of a drug-free neighborhoods, which we know that they do not prejudice our social boundaries. How are you going to deal with our law enforcement to better suit the needs of a more secure environment?
Well, we start off with the fact that we funded a downtown substation, and that downtown substation, the purpose of it is to have more law enforcement in downtown and in the areas close to downtown. This allows for not only more officers, but booking downtown. And by booking downtown means that you can actually, instead of taking a patrol car all the way to the north side, booking somebody, and then bringing them back to downtown where an officer who's assigned to the district is down that entire time, that officer will now be able to take the person to downtown, have them booked there and taken to county, which is just a few blocks away. And so that's one of the things. The other thing is that we've implemented body cams. Right now, 2/3 of our officers have body cams. We're shooting for 100%. And also we've added to all the patrol cars dash video as well.
Thank you, Counselor. Ms. Hinojosa?
District 8 actually has the most police present from all law enforcement agencies because of our proximity to the river and the jail, yet none of the agencies actually communicate with one another. We also have the highest rate of petty crime due to addiction and poverty. We need a collaborated effort to get our law enforcement agencies to work together, our community leaders to step up and initiate programs to clean up our streets. The number one concern that business owners and homeowners have is theft. And a lot of people are considering moving out of the district because it's so bad. Right now, due to COVID, if someone is arrested by PD for theft, they're released the same day by the sheriff's department. And so I plan to work with our local, community, state, and federal officials to make our streets safer by analyzing data, finding programs that work to solve crime, addiction, and poverty.
Thank you, Ms. Hinojosa. Now for the next question, and you'll be the first one to answer. Many will agree that prosperity is more than just the accumulation of material. It is basically the joy of life and the prosperity of being able to build an even better life in the future. With this being said, Laredoans must have an equal opportunity to pursue any type of employment across all social classes. How are you going to bring forth jobs to meet these expectations? Ms. Hinojosa?
I'm glad you're bringing this up because this is kind of my expertise, I feel like. I think that our city it's the place for opportunity. We see that we're the #1 inland port. We can beat Los Angeles, and we bring in about $20 billion in trade every year. But we have this disconnect with our community, our youth. They don't know about the jobs or how to get hired or how to make a decent wage by going after those types of jobs. I plan to implement incentives that help start businesses in our district, to train our workforce and to work on initiatives that raise the wages for everyone. Last night, I received a call at 11:45 regarding child support on a payroll check. And the gentleman from my district told me he was working 3 jobs to get caught up on back pay. You shouldn't have to work 3 jobs at $7.25. We need to be innovative, promote small business and entrepreneurship, and teach our community how to start careers that pay well, promote financial literacy, and reinvest in our district.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hinojosa. Counselor?
Well, I can tell you this, that one of the things that the city has done in this year was we hired an economic development person to work with the city. He's been very good at recruiting employers. In fact, they've recruited some very large employers in cold storage. In the last 9 months, over 200 jobs have been created in the cold storage industry. This doesn't even take into account the construction jobs that will come from building these new facilities that will be coming into Laredo or expanding in Laredo. Right now, during COVID, we retrained over 600 people, including 150 people that are already working, and the others are still receiving their training. So we've done our best to create jobs in Laredo.
Thank you. Our next question, and they'll be answered by you first, Counselor. Laredo, as we know, is rich in traditions and culture. Traditions that many do not want to remove due to the common acceptance of practice. Bringing us to the following question. The continual complaints of nepotism within the city hiring procedures has been heard for decades. If you, as a councilman or woman, see the conflict of interest, will you stand for the procedure or remedy the issue?
Well, I think the answer is both, depending on the situation. But I can tell you this: I don't have any family members that are working for the city. I actually don't have many family members in the workforce in Laredo. Um, you know, it's come to where sometimes you see something, you see something in city council, and you see that maybe somebody has a conflict of interest. There's been times when I've actually addressed it with the council member and said, hey, you're coming up on a vote. I'm a little concerned about this, and talk to them and let them know. And I've had council members that because of that, have talked it out and decided not to vote on issues. And I think that's a good way of handling it. But then there are other situations where you don't even know, you don't find out about something until later. And the nepotism rules are there, they're to be followed. And if I see a violation, I'm gonna report that.
Absolutely. Ms. Hinojosa?
I'm not an attorney, but if I see direct conflict of interest, I'm happy to call it out. I think that this is a spot where we need to be transparent and let the taxpayers know if there is conflict of interest. And as representatives on council, we need to bring those issues to light. Now, I don't have very many family either here in Laredo, but my husband is employed by the city, and I'm happy to recuse myself or step away any time that an issue comes up. I doubt it though, he's in the planning department, but I doubt that there will be, but I'm happy to step away and when the time happens.
Thank you. Sixth question, and you'll be the first one answering. Well, this COVID-19 pandemic ravages the world, nations, states, and our city. Our city lacks leadership and transparency. First, they placed Dr. Hector Gonzalez and Chief Landin as COVID-19 response persons. Midway through, Hector Gonzalez was terminated or removed, and Chief Landin retires. Do you agree that the city leadership has failed the citizens of Laredo? Do you agree that it should be the city leadership that we need to be in front and center in this COVID-19 battle? If so, what would you do different?
I think that COVID-19 has brought a lot of pressure, and I feel like these high-ranking positions have been kind of like forced out because it's gotten heated, very heated with the rising number in cases. And so I think as elected officials, we need to be transparent about those conversations that we're having, and also transparent with the actual results of COVID. As of right now, I think that there's a federal investigation regarding one of our hospitals. And I think that the city needs to shed light on that issue as well.
Thank you. Counselor?
Well, I can tell you this is that the city has been way up front, better than other cities as far as leadership in COVID. We're the first city in the country to implement a mask ordinance, which now I think everyone knows that the mask is one of the things that protects you the most. We implemented different rules in our emergency order, and we saw that in the city of Laredo. By the time we hit June, our numbers were going down, and it wasn't until the governor intervened that our numbers started to shoot back up. If he had been more patient, I think we right now we would be in a much better position. But taking that, we've had to deal with that, but we've continued to be leaders in all of this.
Thank you, Counselor. Now we're going to go with the closing. Got 2 minutes. And Counselor, you're going to go first.
Well, I want to thank both of you, Mr. Buitrón and Ms. Avis Hinojosa for this. I'd like to say that to the citizens that I feel that I'm the best candidate. I'm the most educated of the candidates. I've had the most professional success and recognitions as an attorney, including board certifications, awards. I have certainly the most community service of any of the candidates, and I have the experience to get the job done. I've been able to get things done. There's a reason that for every election I've been supported by the fire union and by the police union. from every election. And that's even as a criminal defense lawyer, the Laredo police officers supported me from the beginning. I pay property taxes. I own 5 properties in Laredo, so I know what families go through because I have to pay lots of property taxes. I'm a parent, I'm a spouse. I know what parents go through every day to pay their bills. I'm a small business owner. I know how COVID has affected our business and how it's affecting other businesses. And so, you know, I'm here for the families. I'm here for the businesses. I'm here to improve District 8, to continue working on District 8, to bring good projects that are financially feasible. As we've been here on council, we've never raised taxes. The tax rate has actually dropped for the first time in over 20 years. It dropped while I was on city council. And so I'm asking people to let me continue working on these important projects, to finish the Plaza Theater project, the Children's Library in downtown Laredo. And I want the voters to know that I'm here with you, I'm here for you, and I'm asking for your support in November.
Thank you, Councilor. Ms. Hinojosa, your closing, please.
Well, I want the taxpayers to know that I'm ambitious. I was raised by a single mother and my grandparents, which I lost all too soon because of Laredo's failed healthcare. And that really brought my passion out into learning more about financial planning and taxes and how all that ties into politics. And when I left for college, I came back with a dire need to serve and the opportunity to be a business owner in my community. And I just happened to pick a house in District 8. I wasn't even looking for any other neighborhood. I just found this neighbor. I just found my house. And I've been involved. I'm on plenty of boards and sit as president and treasurer on many. And people know that they can trust me and they can count on me to answer the phone at any time of the night, to take care of their most important aspects of their life, from their taxes to their finances to their retirement and their business. And I want the taxpayers and the constituents of District 8 to know that I'm young, I'm fresh, and I have no political ties, and I'm ready to serve.
Well, number one, I want to thank both of you. I want to thank both of you for standing up. Councilor, for being a city councilman representing the city of Laredo. Ms. Amber, for standing up and being a woman that's in this race. And also for you all coming forth and talking about and answering these questions. And the best of luck to you all. And we understand at the end of the race, there can only be one. You know, kind of sounds like the Highlander, remember the movie? But what we're gonna get a person that loves the community, loves the city. And for those people out there, please research your candidates, talk to them, call them on the phone, understand why the decisions are doing and why they're doing it. That's very important. And please do not vote by mail. Please go out there, wear your mask, vote, because your vote can be swindled in the mail like this. So number one, you all be safe, and thank you once more. And for you folks out there, we'll continue bringing forth and continue educating those that don't know, and we'll be informing those that are lesser informed. Thanks and peace.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.